What's up, everybody? It's the cat. I was watching a video earlier. It was a Christian person talking about psychedelics. I think the name was like Wrestling KD, KJ. I don't know, something. I probably pronounced it all wrong as well. Now, in the video and in the comment section, there were many people talking about psychedelics. Well, let's take the psychedelics part out of it and call it what it is. It's a plant, a fungi. It's part of the plant slash animal kingdom. You guys get to see the jugs and that we use for our water. We don't trust the water around here. Anyway, um, got some comments deleted, and I'm sure at some point some of these people may come and look at my channel. So I'm going to speak on the fact of the matter. Um, we're going to start in Genesis. So in Genesis, you know, verse is, I don't know, Genesis, he talks about, and to you I've given all the seed bearing plants and the animals and this and that and the fowl, and, you know, so we're given dominion over the plants and the animals. We're charged to take care of them, to help them to prosper and whatnot. There was another video I watched about some vegan talking about hunting and stuff. Well, I'll get into that in a minute if I can remember to talk about it. And I'll just go ahead and say it because, yeah, you know, hunting is ethical because it keeps populations of certain animals down. It helps people keep an eye on what's going on in nature, lets you know if there's a problem. Coyote, wolves, you know, deer, whatever. If something starts to thrive too much, it becomes a problem. And it's ethical to keep certain populations down. That way they don't devastate an ecosystem and destroy much more than one or two species. Because in the past, if you know about it, once certain invasive things get in, it destroys everything native. Nothing else can prosper or grow, and it's just plain terrible. So beyond that, we're going to get back to Genesis over here. So in Genesis, it says, "Be fruitful and or no, we're talking about Genesis chapter 1. It's like verse 20 something. Uh, and then the other verse I'm talking about, I think it might be at the end of the chapter. I don't know what verse it is, but it's some. They're all in there anyway. Um, so it says we're given dominion over the plants and animals. Well, it also says, I think at the end of this chapter, when he talks about everything he created, he looked back on it and he said it was all good. He didn't say it's going to be peaceful. It's going to be okay. He didn't say it's not going to be dangerous and that you're going to be safe and all this other shit that people like to bullshit you on and tell you. Um, so, just want that to be out there. He did say it was all good. He didn't say you're going to be safe from the wildcats or your fellow human being or any of this, but he said it was all good. Now, um, being that in Genesis, he said, I created everything and I looked back on it and I said that it's all good. It's all good, you know. So we as humans are given dominion over the plants and the animals. So, yes, we should do, like he said in other verses, where we multiply and help them to prosper and they'll help us to prosper and, you know, be fruitful and multiply. There are also verses where everything is good in moderation. So um, take from that what you will. Uh, Obviously, addiction is fucking terrible, and I'm working with my own addictions and my own problems, and it's not easy. But I turn to the Word. It's helped me to understand a lot more throughout the years. You know, there's some things that I'm just like, man, that was fucking terrible. It hurts my heart. But in general, it's you know, a great way to learn about human nature and to be able to perceive the things that go on around you and um, yeah, whatnot. Uh, so if you were starving in the woods and there was some fucking psychedelic mushrooms, you didn't know what they were, but God said, "I've given you dominion over these plants and these animals," and blah 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 blah, so on and so forth. I already talked about it. So you pick those fruits and you start eating them, and it fills your belly, but you start tripping a little bit. Personally, to me, that is a spiritual quest. So in the spiritual quest, maybe you got all these answers that I've given you, or maybe you learned something else. But so how much better would it be to put more to for more people to be on a spiritual quest and to find God and or to confront their demons or and to turn to God and that sort of thing. I don't know, just my opinion. Um, not saying I know everything, but these are the verses. And am I cherry picking? Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of people that'll say so. But the Bible is up for interpretation. Most of it was spoken in parables, especially what Jesus said. Why? Because, he had to worry about being persecuted. He was persecuted regardless. And the main thing was, hey, acquiescing the Roman guards and those who wanted to take his life, which is why he lived such a peaceful way. But he didn't shy away from telling you to be a warrior. Um, that's about it. Much love. God bless. Got so.